This is Barry Zalma speaking for ClaimSchool Incorporated's newsletter, Zalma's Insurance Fraud Letter for September 15, 2025. This volume 29, issue 18 of Zalma's Insurance Fraud Letter provides a source for the insurance fraud professional. You can subscribe to the newsletter at the link provided. It is free. Zalma's Insurance Fraud Letter, or ZIFL, continues its 29th year of publication dedicated to those involved in reducing the effect of insurance fraud. ZIFL is published 24 times a year by ClaimSchool and is written by me. It is provided free to anyone who visits the site at the link provided. The contents of the September 15, 2025 issue of ZIFL includes an article entitled "Evidence Established that Rudolph Murdered His Wife in Africa, and that it is not nice and a crime to kill your wife for the insurance money." Even when he attempted a shotgun murder of his wife in Africa, the court determined it was not an accident. In United States of America versus Lawrence Rudolph, the National Association of Criminal Defense Lawyers acting as Amicus Curiae, the United States Court of Appeal for the 10th Circuit on September 8, 2025, affirmed his conviction for the murder of his wife, a foreign murder of Bianca Rudolph, and related mail fraud charges, basically life insurance fraud. You can read the full article and the full 18 pages of ZIFL at the link provided. Next is more McLenny, Mosley & Associates issues, being ZIFL's 51st installment of the saga of McLenny, Mosley & Associates and its problems with the federal courts in the state of Louisiana and what appears to be an effort to profit from what some magistrate and district judges indicate may be criminal conduct, to profit from insurance claims relating to hurricane damage to the public of the state of Louisiana. Most now speaking about his and the firm's bankruptcy proceedings. Next is a list of health insurance fraud convictions, starting with a New York cardiologist who was found guilty of fraud and sentenced to 37 months in prison. Niranjan Mittal, a Brooklyn-based cardiologist, was sentenced to 37 months in prison for his participation in a years-long healthcare fraud and bribery scheme that involved paying other physicians for referrals and fabricating patient records. The 72-year-old was also sentenced to 2 years of supervised release and forced to forfeit all the proceeds that could be traced to his scheme. You can read the full article in the full 18 pages of ZIFL at the link provided, along with dozens of reports of health insurance fraud convictions. Next is an article about fraud convictions for other than health insurance fraud, starting with chutzpah, an arson for profit to pay restitution for a previous conviction. Emanjin Maori committed the crimes of arson for profit to receive a payout to help cover a previous court-ordered restitution sum for burning a previous home. Maori increased her insurance policy weeks before the 2023 arson fire. Maori, a Pennsylvania woman, was sentenced to up to 3 years in prison for intentionally setting fire to a rented home in 2023 as part of a scheme to collect insurance proceeds. Next is article entitled Ethics for the Insurance Profession. Insurance is by definition a business of the utmost good faith. This means that both parties to the contract of insurance must act fairly and in good faith to each other and do nothing that will deprive the other of the benefits of the contract of insurance that was promised. Without the covenant of good faith and fair dealing, ethical people who work in the insurance industry applying and fulfilling the covenant, effective insurance to spread the risk of loss to a large community of insurance professionals is impossible. One cannot act fairly and in good faith without being a person with a well-founded ethical compass. This article was adapted from my book, the compact book on ethics for the insurance professional, that's available from Amazon.com as a Kindle book, a paperback, and a hardcover. You can read this full article and the full 18-page issue of ZIFL at the link provided. Next is an article about what happens when PI lawyers sue each other. And it's a link to an insurance journal article that was reported on September 11, 2025 about two high-profile Boston area personal injury law firms who have sued each other, alleging trade secret theft, breach of loyalty, conspiracy, unfair competition, and more. You can read the full report at the link provided to the insurance journal. It is a very interesting and detailed article by Andrew G. Simpson, and I recommend you read the entire article. Next is an article entitled Fraud in the Presentation of a Claim. Insurance fraud in the presentation of a claim by definition voids insurance. In 1884, the U.S. Supreme Court considered the issue and decided that a fraud in the presentation of a claim, even if it was not intended to deceive the insurer and would have had little effect on the indemnity paid, still caused the policy to be void and the claim to be denied. The case was entitled Claflin versus Commonwealth Insurance Company. You can read the full article in the full 18-page issue of ZIFL at the link provided. This video was adapted from my blog, Zalma on Insurance, which is available free to anyone who clicks on the URL zalma.com/blog. You can download the full blog or the full issue of ZIFL at your leisure. If you wish, you can also subscribe to the blog and you'll be advised of every blog posting, usually 5, sometimes 6 times a week. And you will gain access to the more than 5,150 blog postings. If you're interested in further detail about insurance, insurance claims, insurance law, and insurance fraud, please consider for a very small fee subscribing to my Substack publication, and please tell your friends and colleagues about this blog, the newsletter, and the videos so that they too can subscribe. Thank you for your attention.